Replacing long-term access keys with federated identity can drastically reduce the risk of unauthorized access to your AWS resources. In fact, many organizations still rely on these static keys, unaware of the vulnerabilities they introduce. Today, we'll dive into why federated identity is crucial and walk through the steps to implement it in AWS IAM. We'll cover the basics of federated identity, how it works, and why it's more secure than traditional access keys. Then, we'll go through setting up AWS IAM roles for cross-account access, configuring SAML-based single sign-on, and troubleshooting common issues. By the end, you'll be able to secure your AWS environment effectively. First, let's understand what federated identity means. It allows users to access AWS resources without creating separate AWS identities. Instead, it relies on existing identity providers like Active Directory or Okta. This not only simplifies user management but also enhances security by reducing the number of long-term access keys floating around. To implement federated identity, start by setting up an IAM role in your AWS account. For example, you might create a role named Developer Access that grants necessary permissions. Then, configure trust relationships to allow your identity provider to assume this role. This setup ensures that only authenticated users from your identity provider can access AWS resources with the specified permissions. Next, let's look at configuring SAML-based single sign-on. First, download the metadata document from your identity provider. In AWS IAM, navigate to Identity Providers and choose SAML 2.0. Provide a name and upload the metadata document. Once configured, users can log into AWS using their existing credentials from your identity provider, streamlining access while maintaining security. Finally, let's address some common issues. One frequent error is invalid c.l.i.n token ID, which usually indicates that the token used is either expired or invalid. Ensure your identity provider is correctly configured and that tokens are valid. Another common issue is permission-denied errors, which occur when the IAM role does not have the necessary permissions. Double-check the policies attached to your IAM roles to ensure they align with your security requirements. In summary, federated identity enhances AWS security by eliminating the need for long-term access keys. Setting up IAM roles and configuring SAML-based single sign-on simplifies user management and access control. Always verify configurations and permissions to avoid common pitfalls. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Drop your questions in the comments, I read every one. See you in the next video.